AJ Madden here. Let's cover principle number 10, success is in the setup. This is one of our 12 power principles from 1% Warrior Leadership, available on Amazon.com and my website, CoachAJMadden.com. Let's jump into this absolutely critical principle of leadership. Success is in the setup. And when I figured this out as a leader, as a manager, many years ago, it was an absolute epiphany to me. When I figured out that 95% minimum, maybe even 100% of your success is in the setup, who you hire, who you recruit, who you bring into your organization, the world, everything opened up. The sky opened up, the sea parted, and I was able to level up my own leadership and my own organization so much, so fast when I prioritized the setup. And what is the setup? That is attracting, developing, and keeping A players in your organization. What's the definition of an A player? Someone who is committed to high standards, someone who is committed to high warmth, that means treating other people well, and someone who is committed to the heroic mission of your organization and the work that heroic mission entails. That's an A player. I believe that every man, woman, and child can be an A player at something, at some field or discipline. They just have to find out what that is, what that field or discipline is that they are passionate about doing the work, and they also have natural ability in. And with our 9 areas of intelligence, there is something out there for every man, woman, and child that they can be an A player in. I firmly believe that. It's our job as leaders to make sure that we are identifying A players in our field and for our company, for what we look for specifically in A players. Now, if someone has high standards and high warmth, they can be an A player in pretty much anything. The third component, which is the heroic mission, is that they are energized by the heroic mission of your organization and the work of your organization, the work that drives that heroic mission, achieving that heroic mission. That's where it's our job as leaders to make sure that the people that we bring into our organization are passionate about that heroic mission. We also have to make sure they have high standards and high warmth, of course. We want to make sure that they're passionate about the work that we do, that they get excited about doing it. Then it's our job to uphold the highest standards in the organization and to promote and uphold high warmth in that organization and to over-communicate the heroic mission, right? And everything that heroic mission entails. This is our job as leaders. Success is in the setup. Set yourself up for success and prioritize A players in your organization. We'll take it a level higher and prioritize A player leaders in your organization. Because in order to get your setup right, you have to have A player leaders in your organization. What is an A player leader? Because A player leaders attract A player team members. C player leaders don't attract A player leaders. And if you happen to get lucky and have some A players, they're not going to want to work for C player leaders for long. What is our definition of an A player leader? What's our key criteria for a leader? Number 1, they're energized by the heroic mission and the work that heroic mission entails. Number 2, they're able to uphold high standards in the organization, and they have high standards themselves in their personal, in their work, in their life. And number 3, they have high warmth. That means they give self-esteem to others. They catch people doing things right. They believe in people deeply. They challenge people to be their best. High warmth is giving self-esteem. High warmth is that flame. You have to have that flame yourself in order to give a flame to someone else. That flame is self-esteem. You have to have self-esteem in order to light someone else's candle and raise their self-esteem. So to have that high warmth for others, you've got to have high warmth for yourself. You've got to work on your own self-confidence and your own self-belief. You've got to learn to be your own best friend. Be your own positive coach. You have to learn to prioritize your own self-esteem. One of the biggest secrets of leadership that almost no one talks about is self-esteem. And what self-esteem does. It gives you the ability to challenge people directly in terms of high standards. It gives you the ability to set a heroic mission, a big mission, and have the belief that it is possible to achieve it. And it gives you the ability to create that high warmth and be a true believer in others, believe in the greatness of other people, right? Because people who don't have high self-esteem, leaders who don't have high self-esteem, they can't give it to others, and they're always trying to knock other people down and lower other self-esteem. I see it often, unfortunately. I see it often, and I recognize it immediately. Low self-esteem. Anytime you see a leader trying to step on people or hold people down or mistreat people, that's a self-esteem issue right there. Because people who have healthy self-esteem, they don't do that to other people. They're not worried about holding others down or stepping on other people. They're worried about their own personal success and their own mission. They're worried about giving self-esteem to others. So if you have one takeaway from this video, work on your self-esteem. Do everything you can to work on your self-esteem. Read some of the best books out there. Watch some great videos on YouTube about raising your self-esteem, because it's absolutely crucial as a leader. If you don't have the self-esteem, you can't be what I call a number one. You just can't. A number one being a CEO, a chief of police, a general in the military, a head coach of a Division I sport or a high school sport. You can't be a number one. It's going to be very difficult for you to be a number one. How about that? Because there are number ones who have self-esteem issues that kick down on people. They get there one way or the other. Maybe they're very good at their craft. They're excellent at their craft. But you'll never be an ultra-effective number one if you can't give self-esteem to others. And if you don't have that self-belief in yourself. Because emotions are contagious. We know emotional contagion. Emotions are contagious. Confidence is contagious. But doubt is far more contagious, because the negative is 7 times more contagious than the positive. We know this. Doubt is 7 times more contagious than confidence. So if you show doubt in your mission, in your people, in your organization, right, in yourself, that is dramatically more contagious than showing confidence. So if anything, stop showing doubt. If you're showing doubt right now, stop that. And that'll get you way closer, right, to being an elite leader if you just stop showing doubt, period. Right, just get yourself back to neutral. Boy, success is in the setup. Easily one of the most powerful. Prioritizing A-player leadership. Prioritizing A-players. And again, it starts with your A-player leadership. If you don't have A-player leadership, you're going to have a hard time getting A-players. It's very simple. A-players are not going to stick around working for B or C-player leaders. And again, those A-player leaders, they're energized by the heroic mission. They're energized by the work. They have high standards in their life, and they're able to uphold high standards in team members, employees. And they're able to give self-esteem through high warmth. They have that high warmth component. Right? That's an A-player leader to me. Here's a quote from Jeff Colvin. Bill Gates has said, if you look at the 20 smartest people, if you took the 20 smartest people out of Microsoft, it would be an insignificant company. And if you ask around the company what its core competency is, they don't say anything about software. They say it's hiring. You will hear the same thing from Bill Gates and Elon Musk. If we look at Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk, if we look at those three, you will hear the same thing from all three of them, as well as the late Steve Jobs. They continuously prioritized A-players in their organization relentlessly. And it wasn't just as they got big, because people say, oh, it's a big company, it's easy to do that. False. They prioritized A-players from day one in the organization. That's how they got to where they are. Go back and reverse engineer their success. A-players over and over and over again. It's not that complicated. It's simple. It's right in front of us. When you reverse engineer their success, the success of Amazon, success of Microsoft, success of Tesla, success of Apple, reverse engineer it and you will see A-players from the beginning. Don't overthink this. It's not that complicated. So I challenge you to prioritize A-players in your organization, leadership. Oh, you have to. And to become an A-player yourself. If you're not an A-player, what you do, you better look in the mirror and start working on becoming an A-player yourself in your industry or field. And if you can't get passionate about it, find something else to do. Find somewhere else to lead or manage your work, because you will never be an A player if you're not passionate about doing the work. It's just, you'll constantly be going uphill, fighting friction, swimming upstream, if you don't have the passion for the work and a little natural ability sprinkled in there. If you found this video helpful, please click like and subscribe. If you found it useful, please share it with someone else you believe will also find it useful. This is Successes in the Setup, principle number 10 from 1% Warrior Leadership, available on Amazon.com and my website, CoachAJMadden.com. This book is 20 years of leadership experience, 20 plus years. The best of the best lessons that I learned over 20 plus years, distilled down into one book. It doesn't matter what level of leadership you're at, you're a beginner or you're well experienced. I know you will find something useful in here, a principle, a tool, a habit, a mindset that you will find useful that will be worth 10, 20, 100 times the price of this book. I know it. I'm a true believer in the principles in this book. Right? I stood on the shoulders of giants for many years, and I learned from the best of the best. And I was also then able to develop my own concepts that I know that you'll find useful. I wish everyone success and happiness, and I challenge you to prioritize the setup, because you will find tremendous success when you do.